There, it looks like I have lips now. I have a mess in front of me, but for very good reasons. I want to talk about my creative carry. What is a creative carry? It's my own rendition of the everyday carry. I think that the everyday carry idea popularized around the 2016-2017 minimalism era. There was kind of like this obsession with like how much we could not carry, like what do we not need to rely on when we are out in public. I think it came out of protest of capitalism, of us overspending and overstuffing the bags that we carry around. I would be really interested in watching like an analysis video on this, so if you guys have any recommendations, please let me know. I do think the everyday carry, it's still a thing nowadays. I personally felt like back in the day it was a lot of men showing what they carried and it was like their own version of what's in my bag, but I digress. I wanted to talk about my creative carry, and this has been inspired by my recent read, which is The Artist's Way. I'm on week 2, but some of the tasks have led me to create this little creative carry, if you will, and I will go into more of that. She didn't come up with the idea. It really is just my own rendition of like, I have the things that I carry every single day, but I have since then added to it. Sorry, my shirt keeps falling. I do still live a pretty minimalistic lifestyle. I don't want to have like tons of shit. So this is not what I carry every single day, just when I'm feeling really inspired. I live somewhere where I don't have public transportation, so I rely on a vehicle. So I'm gonna start with my necessities and just go through those fast because it's nothing special. But like if I'm just gonna go run an errand, it's usually just some chapstick, my wallet, and maybe my sunglasses, and that's it. I'll usually throw it in like a tote bag. And I've been leaning more towards tote bags than like my purses at the moment because I have expanded a little bit in what I've carried, and some of it is like art stuff and I don't wanna ruin my purses. I'm 100% addicted to my phone, and so the goal is with having some of these, I'm kind of reaching towards this stuff and not my phone. So, quick essentials. I have my Warby Parker sunglasses. If you follow me for book content, this is what I'm currently reading. I have this little bag because I like to contain things, and that just has like, you know, girly things, my chapstick, my lip stain, tampon, lip gloss. Lucas washed my favorite chapstick. I'm very upset, but it still works. Every creative needs girly things, okay? My friend gave me this little thing from Bulgaria. It was so cute. So I carry my grandmother's vintage mirror in it so it doesn't get scratched. Gas X, girly things, whatever that is. This is kind of turning into what's in my bag, but I'm getting to the creative part, I promise. You can skip over all of this if you don't want to, but I know some people are curious. That was a charger. And my taser. This is from the Tiny Protectors. Ooh. This thing kind of falls off sometimes, but the Tiny Protectors, look at this little butt. Now for the creative stuff. Are we ready? I'm trying to tell myself that I'm an artist. That's one of the tasks. We need to be kind to ourselves. And if you don't think that you're worthy of carrying artsy stuff, you are wrong, okay? One of the quotes that I love in last week's reading, she said, the author, Julia Cameron, remember that in order to recover as an artist, you must be willing to be a bad artist. Give yourself permission to be a beginner. By being willing to be a bad artist, you have a chance to be an artist, and perhaps over time, a very good one. And I was like, wow, I need to allow myself to be bad at art. And that's what this is. I have my commonplace notebook. Why I think this is worthy of a creative carry is because our best ideas come at us at any moment, or maybe it's a quote we hear, or a song that inspired us, or a moment that we don't want to forget. Maybe it's some pens that you wanted to try out. Maybe retrograde retrospection. I did that with my friends. We like went through the lessons of retrograde. It's there for you to look back on or to get a thought down, or maybe it's just your boring ass grocery list. But hey, you reference that grocery list every single week now. There's no rules to commonplacing. It's just whatever you want. This was something that I wrote down the other day. I said, job applying is giving me anxiety. Why can't jobs just host hiring events like speed dating and talk to people face to face? I promise I have a great personality and we would have lots of fun together. I was just venting my frustrations. That's a great idea. Don't steal that idea. One time I had a manager talking down to me, and I decided to pull out this notebook while they were talking to me, and I started to write my frustrations, and I noticed that their tone changed because I thought that I was writing down what they were saying. And I was actually just writing down my frustrations, and it was a really interesting experience. That's commonplacing. This is from Cloth and Paper. It was in a book box subscription. I would never buy a spiral, but I do feel like Steve from Blue's Clues with this. I have my Hobonichi Techo 2025. I love this planner, but it's really expensive. Honestly, a day-to-day planner, there's so many cheaper ones out there, and I don't think I'm gonna be purchasing this again. Like, it was very helpful in my job, you know? But yeah, this is like a $40 notebook. I don't think I'll be purchasing it again. She's thirsty. Oh, you're just a thirsty girl and you're getting your drool all over the floor. Oh, careful. Are you okay? You okay? Can dogs be burped? Goodness graciousness. I love drawing and doodling and painting. I've taken art classes in high school and college. I think I'm okay, and it's mostly because when I was a child, I was determined to learn how to draw, and I used to sit in front of the TV with my dad on our like little TV tray, and I would sit there and like practice drawing and stuff. But my ADHD, of course, didn't let me commit to it. It was just one of those things that I always returned to. But that task in itself is so cathartic for me. I just love being able to recreate stuff that is in front of me or a reference photo. Just very relaxing, and in my journey to disconnect from my phone, because I am being influenced by others and trying to learn more about myself and the kind of artist that I am, I decided to pick up a little watercolor set. All of that to tell you that I have a watercolor set. Look at this thing. Wait, how's it go? Wait, hold on. There we go. It's magnetic. So it opens up like this, and you take a little notebook like this, and you can attach it with a binder clip. And it was like on sale. I went on an artist date. That's one of the tasks that you have to do. And I went to Hobby Lobby and I got this like for $5. Look how cute that is. And it's refillable. Like, once the colors are done, I'm gonna fill them with gouache. A little water pen, and you just squeeze it so some water comes out, and then I just have these little napkins that I sewed to carry around. This notebook here, which is an old moleskin that I started to carry around and doodle in. This is me trying the watercolors on it, but it's not the right paper. Throughout the years, oh gosh, an unfinished Namjoon Prisma. But this has kind of become like more of my artist commonplace notebook, so I'm trying to allow myself to like draw more things I see, spend less time on that cell phone. Sir, this is like a special type of eraser that you like push on the page and it picks up the pencil. I have my Zebra mechanical pencil. This is the best mechanical pencil because it has the metal tip and it doesn't stretch out. And I've had this for years. In fact, I used this in school. I actually also have my Lamy Safari pen that I recently cleaned out, and I'm planning to put some waterproof, what is that called? Waterproof ink. Hold on, baby. I'm being a little bit of an influencer right now, but you should get yourself a little travel watercolor set because it's so fun. The one thing that is missing is another little pouch. Yes, baby, I'm wrapping up. Hold on. Is another pouch like this for my art stuff. I plan on making one, I just haven't gotten around to it yet, so I'm gonna sew my own out of some fabric that I have. Okay, well, Cora's ending this video. She said enough. I've heard you talking for over 30 minutes. So I would love to hear what you guys would put in your everyday carry, if you also dabble in a little bit of art. Maybe it's organizing, crocheting. I want to hear about it. Let me know. What new things do I need to try? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.